Have a pleasant day, ma'am. I am Rolly B. Iniego. I am the first presenter for the topic, the environment and development. Under this topic, there are 6 subtopics, namely, number 1 is the environment and development, the basic issues. Number 2 is the global warming and climate change, scope, mitigation and adaptation. And number 3, economic models of environmental issues. Number 4, urban development and the environment. And number 5, the local and the global cost of rainforest destruction. And the last, policy options in developing and developed countries. But I will be discussing the first two, and the other topics will be discussed by our by my group mates rather. So now we are going to scrutinize the subtopic number 1, the environment and development, the basic issues. In this topic, we are going to determine the significance of the environment towards economic development. Economics and environment, one of the basic issues is the global warming. Global warming increasing average air and ocean temperatures used in reference to the trend that began in the mid 20th century and attributed largely to human industrial, forestry, and agricultural activities emitting greenhouse gases. So, in the definition itself, we're going to, it is quite obvious that one of the basic issues of the environment is the global warming that we are currently experiencing now. So, as we all know, there are 3 types of human environment interactions. Number 1 is the dependence in the environment. So, as a human, we cannot deny that we are obviously dependent to our environment in order for us to survive. Number 2 is the modification of environment through industrialization. And number 3 is the adaptation towards environment. In order for us to survive, we need to adapt to the environment. So we are now here to the number 2 basic issues, which is the climate change. Climate change is a transient altering of underlying climate such as increased average temperature, decreased annual precipitation, or greater average intensity of droughts or storms, used in reference to the impact of the global warming phenomenon. Note the distinction between changes in weather which varies within a climate and changes in climate that alter underlying probabilities of weather outcomes. So that's the number 2 basic issues of the economics and the environment. So next is the sustainable development and environmental accounting. What is environmental accounting? So, dili lang din siya sa business na accounting. We also have accounting in environmental issues. So, environmental accounting is the incorporation of environmental benefits and costs into quantitative analysis of economic activities. So, the same siya sa business, nag-analyze it. They're almost the same sa business. Sa environmental, gina-measure niya or gina-analyze niya quantitatively ang cost and benefits sa environment into economic activities. For example, the preservation or loss of valuable environmental resources should be factored into estimates of economic growth and human well-being. Next is, what is environmental capital? It is the portion of country's overall capital assets that directly relate to the environment. For example, forest, soil quality, and groundwater. So, ang environmental capital daw is the overall capital assets of a countries na naka-relate siya in terms of into environment. For example, the forest, soil quality, and groundwater nga ginagamit nato para makasurvive ta, para masustain ang development sa atong economy. So, next is, what is sustainable development? It is a pattern of development that permits future generation to live at least as well as the current generation, generally requiring at least a minimum environmental protection. So, ang sustainable development daw is atong gina-preserve ang atong as much as possible, ginaprotektahan nato ang mga environmental nga mga assets nato para sa future generations. Munang kuan sa sustainable development. Next is, what is sustainable net national income? An environmental accounting measures of the total annual income that can be consumed without diminishing the overall capital assets of nation, including environmental capital. So, that is the sustainable net national income. Next is environment relationships to population, poverty, and economic growth. In this topic, may bala nato how the environment related to population, poverty, and economic growth. So, as what I have mentioned earlier, na natay tulo ka types of human-environment interaction. Number one is the dependent to environment. We cannot deny that as a human being, we are dependent. We are completely dependent to the environment in order for us to survive. Number two is the modification of the environment through industrialization. Number three is the adaptation towards environment. In this topic, population, resources, and the environment, much of the concern over environmental issues stems from the perceptions that we may reach a limit to the number of people whose needs can be met by Earth's finite resources. So, according to Thomas Robert Malthus on his population theory, that population, when unchecked, increases geometrically. Geometrically, it means times 2. Times 2 siya. And next is the subsistence or food production increases at best only arithmetically. Mura na siya plus 2 based sa yang theory. So, according to Malthus, sa yang theory nga, mas paspas ang pagtaas sa population kaysa in compared to food production. So, in short, in his theory, we can clearly analyze or we can acquire knowledge na nagi-tendency nga dili ma-provide sa ginatawag na tong mga natural resources or the mga natural resources ang atong panginahanglan nun dili niya ma-meet tungod kay dili niya kaya ang kadaghanon sa population tungod kay mas paspas ang pagtaas sa population kumpara sa food production. So, it is clear that increasing population density has contributed to severe and accelerating degradation of the very resources that this growing population depends on for survival. So, as the statement, it clearly implies that mag-lead siya into environmental degradation the more nga magkataas ang population. Next is the poverty and the environment. So, how the environment related to poverty. So, the poor are usually the main victims of environmental degradation. The poor suffer more from environmental decay because they must often live on degraded lands that are less expensive because the rich avoided them. So, according sa quote ni Nicholas Stern, the poorest developing countries will be hit earliest and hardest by climate change even though they have contributed little to causing the problem. So, according sa kang Nicholas Stern nga ang poorest developing country daw ang una o ang pinaka dali maigo or maapektuhan sa ginatawag nato nga climate change, even though nga gamay ra ang ilang na-contribute in terms of industrialization because they are poorest developing countries. Next is growth versus the environment. If in fact, is it possible to reduce environmental destruction by increasing the incomes of the poor? Is it then possible to achieve growth without further damage to environment? Posible ba daw nga ma-achieve nato ang ginatawag nato nga growth or development without damaging the environment? So, moreover, there is no convincing evidence that other environmental damage decreases with higher incomes. It will always have a Pareto effect. So, Pareto efficiency is said to occur when it is impossible to make one party better off without making someone worse off. So, according to nani nga statement, Pareto efficiency, so imposible daw nga mahitabo nga ma-achieve na tong ginatawag nga growth nga dili nato damage ang environment or dili siya mabutang sa worse nga mga situation. So, because as what I have mentioned earlier, we are dependent to environment. So, kung gusto nato ma-achieve ang economic growth, since we are dependent to environment, so kinahanglan nato nga mo kuha sa mga natural resources para ma-achieve nato ang ginatawag nato nga growth because we are dependent to environment. So, nagip almost 100% probability nga ma-damage nato ang environment when achieving growth. There's always a Pareto effect. This is the scope of domestic origin environmental degradation. What are the environmental damages? Number 1, water pollution and scarcity. When there is pollution in the water, so nagit siya scarcity because polluted naman siya. Dili naman siya nato magamit to in terms of drinking water, dili na siya safe. So, mag-lead siya into scarcity. Number 2 is solid and hazardous waste. Number 3 is the deforestation. Number 4, soil degradation. Number 5, air pollution sa mga manufacturing ng mga businesses ni. Tapos, loss of biodiversity. The environmental deterioration in villages. What is soil erosion? It is a loss of valuable topsoils resulting from overuse of farmland and deforestation and consequent flooding of farmland. And what is deforestation? The clearing of forested land either for agricultural purposes or for logging and for use as firewood, ng deforestation. Now we are going to discuss the subtopic number 2, the global warming and climate change, scope, mitigation, and adaptation. Global warming and climate change, scope, mitigation, and adaptation. Number 1, scope of the problem. Problem primarily but not exclusively caused by developed countries. In 2007, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or the IPCC, released its fourth assessment report. It concluded that the developing world, particularly the poorest countries, can expect major consequences from global warming involving larger and more severe heat waves, long drought, losses of valuable species, and crop and fishing losses. So, yun ang scope of the problem. Next is the mitigation. Many strategies have been proposed for mitigation of emission, including the development of carbon markets, taxes on carbon, and subsidies to encourage faster technological progress. So, under this mitigation, nasa taxes on carbon. So, ang government nag-impose og mga kining ginatawag nato nga Pigubian tax or the corrective tax. So, a tax on the production of a demerit good or one that creates negative externalities in its production or consumption, meant to achieve a more socially optimal level of output. So, ang government, in order to mitigate what we call the global warming and the climate change, nag-impose sila o ginatawag nato nga corrective tax para as much as possible malesen ang negative externalities nga gakakuha sa environment or gagapaingon sa environment nato na naghatag sa negative externalities or negative impact to environment. And lastly, the adaptation. While immediate action on mitigation is necessary, a significant amount of climate change is now essentially inevitable. Adaptation to climate change in developing countries is critical for protecting livelihoods and continuing to make development gains. There are two forms of adaptation. Number 1 is planned or policy, an adaptation undertaken by government. Number 2 is autonomous or private, an adaptation undertaken directly by household, farms, and firms in response to climate change they experience or anticipate. So, that's the two form of adaptation. I guess that would be all. Thank you for listening. God bless us all.